We meet again.
Here we are.
Thursday afternoon. Or whatever time it is when this meets your ears. What's going on, man?
Life is going on.
How's your week?
Good. No complaints.
Good. Mom and Dad still in town?
My mum and dad are in town for 3 months.
So still in town.
Yeah, we're about halfway through.
Jeez. Love it.
You know?
My mom and dad came for a single overnight this year for Christmas. They come more often than that, but the Christmas visit was one overnight. My dad misses his bed. When I was a kid, I was a kid who never had sleepovers. I hated the idea of sleeping anywhere other than my house.
Because you're worried about peeing in somebody else's bed?
No, knock on wood. I've always been pretty good about that. I think I had an accident at like 5 years old, a dream that I was swimming, and I was embarrassed. We were out in Long Island. We used to have my grandparents had this little bungalow out in Long Island. I say bungalow, like legit bungalow, like it was the size of this office right here. And every summer, it would be my grandma and grandpa, my mom and dad, me, my brother, my sister, my other sister,
packed in there.
My aunt,
Jesus,
uncle, and their 3 kids. And then each family had a dog, so there was dogs.
I think they have similar setups in like Brazil.
Yeah, quite possibly. It was a little house. They expanded and made what was like the screened-in porch. They made it. They put windows up, and that ended up being the living room and the dining room. But it was one big room. There was 1, 2, 3. There's 4 bedrooms. Essentially, all the kids were in one bedroom. So at one point we had 3 sets of bunk beds. Grandma and Grandpa had their room. My mom and Dad, Aunt Gina and Uncle Joe. And then there was 1 bathroom. So you got 14 people.
So you decided not to use it?
No. Well, that's the thing. It was a summer house, and no one was there during the
more
winter.
Convenient
so
if I pee right here.
The bathroom, the shower especially, probably until I was like 14 or 15, then they remodeled the bathroom. But it was a grimy old shower, and so all the kids.
How do you feel about peeing in the shower?
I had no problem with it.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. Yeah.
Don't want to ruin your story, but
I wouldn't go into that shower, so I never once peed in it because the kids thought it was gross, and so we would bathe underneath the hose outside.
Oh yeah.
So on any given afternoon, you get home from the beach, and you'd have 7 kids outside, the hose and shampoo and soap, and for the summer, that's how we bathe. Once I was probably about 13 or 14, I started sleeping in our van every night. So it was bedtime, and everyone would go to their rooms. There'd be 19 people stacked up on it, and I would go out to the van, and I would sleep in the van down by the bay.
Well,
so
I feel like that explains a lot.
Yeah, I imagine it does.
Question for you, and for the listening population out there, it's an interesting one. When you're in the shower, do you face towards the water or away from it?
I face away from the water.
Do you really? I face towards it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep. No, I've always been an away from the water kind of guy.
I just go straight in.
So I've got one of those rain showers or whatever. It comes from straight above, so I stand underneath it, I guess. But then I've got the thing.
You have a ring shower, like a ring doorbell.
I have a rain shower.
Oh, ring
doorbell. But then when it comes time to shave my head, I have the little handle that sticks in there also, and it's got better water pressure. So I use that for the head shaving so I can clean the razor out better. But so now I guess I stand under the water.
Okay. Yeah. Upgrade from the hose.
What's that? Not from the hose. What?
No, upgrade from the hose.
Yeah. The hose, I mean, you talk about your little warrior shower. You shower with the garden hose. You get the warrior shower every day. It's
That's
straight
right.
Cold water. Yep.
Yeah.
Makes you feel invincible.
Here we go. Mm-hmm. You catch the Conor McGregor fight? If that's what you call it?
I did. I tell you, the best fight of the week was Kansas versus Kansas State basketball. That was the best fight of the week. But McGregor's made the most money.
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
I did.
Yeah.
I paid the whatever it was, $71 to have it in the comfort of my home.
So you took the beating.
Yeah, I think so. I think I paid about $150 per minute for the fight.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's interesting. I think he made about 50 million. He's clearly not the best fighter. He's lost, I think, 4 times now. But he, hands down, pulls the biggest crowd right now and the biggest, ticket. Mm-hmm. And it's because he's exciting. He goes for it. Something to be learned from that.
He definitely went for it. He was on the attack from jump.
Yeah, I want to learn that little shoulder move.
The little dance thing that he does.
No, the breaking the guy's nose with his shoulder.
Oh, you're better off learning the dance move because you're never going to do that. You're never breaking.
Yeah, I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Yeah.
Are you a fight or flight kind of guy?
I'm a fight guy, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm a flight. I get out of there.
Yeah, no,
my wife is a fighter. She will, if you scare her, she will punch you straight in the face.
Yeah, I
learned that lesson
the
hard way.
Before I lost my hair, I learned that lesson. And it goes back to peeing in the shower, but I wasn't in the shower. I was between my car and never mind. Let me take that back. This other guy, they're outside of the dorm, Oliver Hall, University of Kansas, and it was, I don't know, after a night out, and I went to get something out of my car, and there was these 4 guys, one of which was on the other side of my car, relieving himself. Mm-hmm. And at the time, I was the same height I am now. Actually, it was probably a few pounds heavier than I am now, but I'm still not a very big dude. And I said, "What are you doing?" And I got kind of mouthy with the guy because he was peeing on my car essentially. And he said, talk back and got in my face. And at the time, I thought
did he have to bend down or not?
He did, yeah. I got on my toes and got in his face. And I thought at the time it was a good idea to spit in his face since he peed on my car.
That's a strong move.
Yeah. Well, not strong enough because him and his 3 buddies proceeded to whoop me and it bounced my head off. Bounced my head off the concrete, and I lost a chunk of skin right here.
Oh, that was the beginning.
It had hair on it at the time, and I knew that I was losing my hair when the other side caught up a couple years later. And so then the hairline was uniform again. And I was like, wait a minute, we got an issue here. I'm not going to have this beautiful curly hair the rest of my life. Let's just cut to the chase.
Yeah, so. When I was a freshman at Berry College, in the dorm room there with my roommate Pluggy from Auchterarder, Scotland, the bathroom was probably, the showers and the restrooms were probably about 20 feet away from our dorm room. Uh-huh. But sometimes that just seemed a little too far. So I never told my buddy Pluggy this until years later, but I used to pee in our sink on a regular basis while he was asleep. And I would take a slight bit of enjoyment out of watching him wash his face and brush his teeth the next morning. It's wrong though.
I lived on the handicap floor my freshman year of college, and so it was ground floor with the automatic buttons on the door to the hallway, the bathroom door. The bathroom stalls were wide, the showers were wide. It was very convenient for us because we acted fairly handicapped some of the time, but it was a nice, hit the button, go in, hit the button, leave. Very convenient.
So now that we're on the bathroom topic, reminds me of an excellent story / horrific. I was in London for one of my buddy's bachelor parties.
Oh, I love it. This is my absolute all-time. All right, so if you're at home, take notes because you're going to be able to retell. You're going to be able to retell this story to anyone that you can, honestly, who's got a decent sense of humor. I love it. Go.
So one of my buddies was getting married, and we're having the bachelor party, as we call it, a stag party back in the UK. And this is all that we knew from our end of things at the time. We're in the pub, crushing drinks, obviously giving him nasty shots. And he goes a little pale, goes to the restroom. He's in there for probably all of a minute, comes out and says, lads, we've got to go. We've got to go. We've got to go. And, so I think we were already pretty much ready to go. So we left. But here's how the story transpired.
It's like a movie. It's like a movie.
So just picture this. We're in a pub. My buddy has had probably 11 shots of Jameson whiskey on top of whatever else was going on all afternoon. He feels sick. He knows he's going to puke. So he goes into the bathroom. All 3 urinals are busy. 3 guys standing there. And I think the 2 bathroom stalls doors are closed. So he's got nowhere to go. So what does he do?
And what any normal person would do.
He kicks in the door of one of the bathroom doors. There's a guy sitting there taking a dump. He projectile vomits on the guy. And then the quick thinking cat that he is, he decided to punch the guy in the face.
To knock him out.
But yeah, when no one really knows, he thinks he knocked him out because he just felt like he had to get out of there. And that, going back to fight or flight, I guess he was more of a fight guy.
Fight
so imagine that. You're in the bathroom, you're minding your own business.
You can't be happy anyway. You ever had to relieve yourself
and this was
like
not
that
the sort
at
of
a
pub
bar?
Trust me, this wasn't, top notch. But the guy's in there minding his own business, taking care of business, and next thing you know, the door gets kicked in, you get puked on, and you get punched square in the jaw.
How do you explain that one to your girlfriend when you get home? That's a great joke. We can tell jokes, right?
You know what? That actually reminds me of a joke.
Yeah.
There's this guy, he's an alcoholic, and his wife basically bottom lines him and says, look, you've got to stop drinking or I'm leaving. And he loves her. So he goes about 3 weeks without drinking, and everything's going well, but he has a particularly rough week at work, and he gets off a little early on a Friday, and he's driving home, and he's driving past his favorite bar. It's about 5 o'clock. He knows all of his friends are going to be in there. So he thinks to himself, I'll just go in there and have a quick pint.
Just one.
Yeah. Goes in there, sees his buddies, orders a pint from his, local barman. Tastes so good going down. So he has another one real quick. And then a third one. And then, it's starting to feel the flow. And he's only got a little bit, limited time. So, it does a couple of shots. And evidently too much liquid in a short period of time.
Too much too fast. It'll happen.
So he pukes all over himself, all over his shirt, covered. And he thinks to himself, I'm finished. How do I talk myself out of this one? And so the bartender says, look, I don't know if this is going to work, but let's give it a shot. Give me $10. So the guy gives the bartender $10. The bartender rolls up the $10 and puts it in the top pocket of his puke-soaked shirt. He says, look, here's what you do. When you get home, you say to your wife, look, I want to be honest with you. I did go to the bar. I just had a couple of drinks, no big deal. And another guy in the bar was really drunk, and he puked on me, and he actually gave me $10 to get my shirt dry cleaned. So he goes, all right. So he goes home, walks into the living room. Wife sees him. She immediately goes off the handle. I can't believe it. He goes, no, baby, let me be honest with you. I did go to the bar. I did have a couple of drinks, nothing crazy. There was another guy in the bar who was drunk, and he was sick on me, and he actually gave me $10 to get my shirt dry cleaned, and he points at his top pocket. And she leans over, puts her hand in his pocket, and she pulls out two $10. She goes, there's $20 in here. And he goes, well, yeah, he shit in my pants as well.
That's classic. I love that one. It all comes full circle. You pee in the bed, shitting in the pants. Yeah, I love it. I freaking love it.
Speaking of shitting in pants, have you met my twin boys recently? They're like professional pants shitters.
My nephew, my sister sent out a picture right before the Chiefs Titans game there. He's wearing.
Oh, by the way, which I predicted 100% both those games.
Well, hold on. I think you said the Chiefs were going to win by 10. I said I'll take the over, and they won by 11. Okay. So I got that one. Enough. But yes, you get the San Francisco one. But beautiful picture. Cute little guy wearing his Chiefs jersey. She sends the picture, and by the time anyone responds, he just shit all over his Chiefs jersey. He's 6 months old, though. He's not like the guy at the bar. But go ahead, though. Your boys.
My boys? Oh, yeah. Oh, no, I was just referencing.
Full of shit.
Yeah, they are not afraid to fill it up.
When I was in college at Kansas, a couple bars we go to all the time. There's the Hawk and the Ranch. So the Hawk is the Jayhawk Cafe, and then there's the Cadillac Ranch. And they were the kind of bars where you go and your feet stick to the floor.
Oh yeah,
right. So solid
dive bar.
And back in the day, the 90s, early 2000s, you wore baggy pants, and so if you were going to wear your pants to one of those places, you knew that you had to wash your pants because the bottoms were all black and nasty by the end.
Were you
of the
talking
night.
Like MC Hammer baggy pants?
No, Jenkos. Remember the stovepipe jeans that were as wide as this desk? I actually still have a pair.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to wear them for 90s.
Didn't know they were called Jenkos.
Well, that was one of the brands. The pair I have, I think, is Levi's. But the ranch, it was the cowboy bar. So Saturday nights, they'd country night. Every night after last call, the last song, they'd turn all the lights on. The last song they played was the national anthem, and you'd stand there and look at the flag, and you'd sing the national anthem, and then kick everybody out. And the men's room was right by the back door, and there was no door on the actual men's room. So it was the ladies' room, had a door on it, and then you'd go next door, it was the men's room, but there was no door on the men's room. So it was two urinals, and then there was a toilet, but there was no toilet stall. So you get two urinals and a stall with no door on the bathroom.
Yeah, I get the picture.
And every month or so, you would have that crazy-ass Kansas redneck who you'd go into the bathroom, and there's no door, and he's sitting there.
Dropping a deuce.
Yep. How
you doing?
It's funny because...
You guys having a good night?
Thank God it was before cell phones and everyone having a camera in their hand, but if someone was lucky enough to get a picture... They would, develop the pictures, and then they had a wall of pictures framed, all like screwed to the wall at the ranch, and so you'd end up seeing pictures of, oh, that guy did that, and then he'd be at it. So it was a kiss of death, I imagine, for that guy's game when it came to picking up the ladies. Like, you did that? No way.
Yeah. Speaking of cell phones and that, the internet went down here at the office today for a while. Comcast, apparently.
Dark ages.
The whole country went down.
Yep.
That's why you should get AT&T. What we couldn't get anything done? What do you do? What do you do without the internet?
Now?
We can't even do what we're doing right now, I don't think.
Maybe we can. Go outside and play. Jump on the trampoline, ride bikes. What else Baker, what do you do if you don't have the internet? Furry convention? But how do you organize it?
Exactly. Send letters. How do you get the furries together?
Send letters to all the furries. Or how do you know who they are? There's no forums.
Well, there's a group for that.
Well, there is online.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Exactly. You have to have the internet.
So I don't know what the heck you'd do.
You know what I was thinking about the other day? Before the internet, when you were going from one place to another, you used to pull out a map.
Yeah.
And you would plan out your trip.
Yep.
And it was kind of fun. You're like, all right, we're going to go on the A23.
It was an adventure.
And we're going to stop off at this city and have lunch.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe when you were there, you would make a phone call on the public telephone and call the person and tell them, hey, we're here now, so we'll probably see you in about 4 hours, or whatever the case may be.
Yep.
Anyway, don't do that anymore. So I was just thinking about that.
I think that people used to know how to get from place to place. Not necessarily the quickest or best or most efficient way, but they knew how to get there. Whereas now, no one knows how to get anywhere. Shoot, I use the GPS to get from my house to the office every single day. Every day, it tells me the traffic. So it tells me the best route. I think about, back in my dad going to work on a good day, it would take him 30 minutes. But how do you know if it's a good day if you don't have a computer sitting on your dashboard telling you it's a good day?
Yeah.
And you have no clue which way to go.
You just got stuck in traffic.
I think it probably was more road rage, I imagine, then, because you're just stuck. And it's got to be a helpless feeling.
Yeah, so what does everyone do with the extra time that Steve Jobs has created for
They go on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
So my buddy was in town. He's military. He spent the last 2 years in Estonia, the country. It's where Encino Man is from.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with Estonia.
Yeah.
Hotbed for IT, actually.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, now you know.
But he doesn't have Instagram, which I have.
Neither do I.
But you don't either. I know. That's what I'm saying. He's your age, too. He's a little bit older than me. But he doesn't have Instagram, which makes it hard for me to share funny things with him because Instagram's full of funny things. Why don't you have Instagram?
I just never got around to it. I don't have Snapchat.
You're not missing anything.
I don't have
Snapchat.
TikTok.
I deleted Snapchat.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. And in some respects, I kind of wish I didn't have Facebook.
Yeah, it gets annoying.
Yeah, it's kind of nice to be off the grid. But I can't really say that because I'm not, because I'm on it.
Always.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Facebook. Who would have thought that would be a thing?
People live their lives on there. If it's not on Facebook, it didn't really happen.
Well, that's 100% true for the teenagers these days. And
well, remember we met teenagers are beyond Facebook now.
Remember we met that guy at the tailgate?
Yeah,
this is a
very
tailgate. For any of our older listeners out there, this is a whole new concept that these kids have to deal with now. So so he'd broken up. I forget the story.
So we met this kid, and we're fun older guys, and he was in college and hanging out tailgating for. I think we were actually just there for the tailgate.
We were.
It was KG's bachelor party.
That's
we were
right.
Only there for the tailgate, and then so these kids come by. We're talking to one of these guys. And he starts talking to us about his girlfriend and how he doesn't like his girlfriend and how he wants to break up with his girlfriend.
So we were like, well, we'll break up with her.
Do it. Get rid of her.
Do it right now.
There is no point. Like, you call her right now and say,
hey,
it ain't working out.
Keep it moving.
Yeah, you're a young kid. You're in college. I think he's like a freshman or sophomore in college, right?
Yeah, you got your whole life ahead of you.
And he's like, yeah, but I'm with her for 2 years. It doesn't matter. Like, 2 years in the grand scheme of things. Don't be unhappy now because you'll be even more unhappy later. And he goes, yeah, but you know what? I don't want to have to delete all the pictures off my Facebook.
That's right.
And I said, what? He goes, yeah, I mean, if I break up with her, then no one else is going to date me if I still have pictures of her on my Facebook. And, well, that goes back to dating. No one dates, whatever. We talked about that last week. But it blew my mind. My sister made me Facebook back in probably 2009. She was going to Europe to study abroad. And she, hey, if you get this thing.
I used to study abroad in college.
Yeah, what was her name?
I forget her name.
Okay. Yeah. She made Facebook so I could see her pictures that she was taking. That was how I got Facebook. But if you look at my Facebook, there's pictures of everything from when my sister made it for me in 2009 to today. And never once have I thought, oh, that guy pissed me off. I need to delete all his pictures. Or, oh, I don't date that girl anymore. I need to delete all her pictures. Or, oh, that guy doesn't work with me anymore. I need to delete. Never. But that's how this kid was deciding to stay in a relationship, was because he didn't want the inconvenience or the hassle or the hurt of having to go and delete her pictures off of his Facebook. Blew my mind.
Yeah, it's a whole thing now.
Yeah, if you're thinking that way, go off the grid.
Yeah.
Silly.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to go shoot some pool this evening.
Is that right?
Yeah, haven't done that in a while.
You find, so this is what I've been hanging out a lot more with the guys here at work the last couple of months, and you find a lot out about a person by how they handle themselves in competitive environments. For sure. And it's caused me to lose respect for some. It's caused me to gain a lot of respect for some. People are like, they're a little quiet, or oh, they're a little young, or oh, they're a little inexperienced, and then you put them by a pool table. Totally different ball game.
Different personality comes out. Yeah, I have a buddy of mine who runs a pretty successful business, and one of his strategies when he's thinking about hiring somebody is he takes them out onto the golf course.
Yeah.
And his theory is if they cheat on the golf course, they're going to cheat in other places.
He doesn't judge them based upon their skill, though, right?
No.
Thank God.
But, if they're giving it the old foot wedge in the rough, and it's not that kind of game.
Yeah. Yep.
Tells you a lot.
My foot wedge is my strongest club. Mm-hmm. But I talk about it and joke about it. I'm like, hey, I can't hit this shot. I'm going to give it a little foot wedge, and I don't play golf for money.
I didn't even know you played golf.
I don't play golf, and I don't play golf for money.
I
tell you, you might golf. You know what I'm best at? Driving.
The cart.
The cart. Correct. Yep. I'm money at driving
Keeping
the cart.
The brewskis cold.
Yep. And I'm starting to learn the rules as far as where you can drive and where you can't drive. And so I haven't had the what do they call that guy? The park ranger. What's the guy who's in charge of the course who drives around and yells at you?
Yeah, the ranger.
The ranger. Yeah. So I haven't had that guy give me a hard time for a while now.
But you are a pretty good caddy.
We did that. Yeah.
We did the Georgia State Amateur last year.
That was last summer, and Ed recruited me to be the caddy because it was hot and didn't want to carry that bag the entire time. And then I'm like, these other guys are driving carts. You don't want to take a cart? No, walk. You'd see the course better.
It's more natural that way.
I mean, I could see the course watching the Masters, and it's a nicer course. But
that was interesting. That's a good. This is a fun fact. 90% of golfers have never broken 90.
I believe that.
And then we were in the Georgia State Amateur Qualifier, and I played utterly shit. I think you remember that.
Not good.
First hole, I had a meltdown.
Yeah.
I was a little rusty competitively. Doubled the first. The 4-putt. That's never a good way to start the day.
Especially when they were easy putts. There's two that were makeable for sure.
The third putt was about a foot.
Yeah.
And I went to tap it in.
Yeah.
Then I had about a 3-footer coming back. Yep. But anyway, this is a good indication of how shit golfers are, because they're all supposed to be fairly good in that thing. We were shit.
Yep.
I think we shoot 78. Mm-hmm. I say we because we're a team.
78. We were a team.
78.
I was there for all of it.
And then we were going to the car to take off, and the guy was like, "I wouldn't leave if I were you, because you're leading." I'm like, what? So then that was just a good excuse to go sit in the clubhouse.
Yeah, to go sit in the clubhouse, get some lunch, a couple beverages.
Yeah. Anyway.
What about, I'm trying to think, any good golfing. When I was you, I golfed a bit.
Remember my
high school,
my bachelor golf match?
I do remember that. That was all right. So that was the morning after. So it was the day before your wedding.
I think it was Friday morning.
The morning after
the
fur bus incident.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a good story. So the Thursday night before my wedding, we were in Virginia Highlands. Mm-hmm. What was the name of that bar? Neighbors. I think it was called Neighbors.
Was it? No. I mean, we met at the Claremont Lounge. That's where the fur bus picked everybody up.
Yeah.
So that's where that was the first stop.
Okay.
The fur bus. Explain the fur bus, because not everyone knows what the hell we're talking about.
Is a bus that's loaded to the gills with alcohol. Yes. Basically, it has like 3 stripper poles in the middle of it.
Yes. There were no strippers.
Furry seats.
Furry seats.
And strobe lights.
Yeah. Weren't the walls and it wasn't fur.
It's basically like a mix between a nightclub and a ferret.
Yes. That makes sense. Yep.
Yeah.
Good description.
And so you drive around from place to place. Mm-hmm. Nobody's getting a Dewey.
Yeah.
Theoretically. We went from place to place. I remember my brother-in-law, or future brother-in-law at the time, outside a bar, and he bought everybody a shot, about 16 shots. He then picked up the plastic outside furniture chair, threw it up in the air. He held it up in the air, and we all did shots. Mm-hmm. He said, "Everyone's going to get laid tonight." And then he literally threw the chair over his shoulder as hard as he could, and it landed in the middle of a table of 4 who all happened to be lawyers.
Oh, I bet they had a spectacular sense of humor.
Yeah, but anyway, moving on. The next morning, we were playing golf, and you were driving the cart with the aforementioned future brother-in-law, who is now my brother-in-law, Chris.
Yes.
And this was before you could purchase music on
No,
your phone at a relatively
incorrect.
cheap.
You you could purchase music. It was before you could just stream it for free. Yeah. So
What's the rest of the story?
well, so we were the DJs for the golf course, and so we were cruising around, and I spent I think $125 on $1.99 purchases of any song that popped into either of our absolutely messed up minds at that state of the morning. At one point, I think we were, I don't know what hole it was, but we were.
Oh, I think I remember if it's the same story I'm thinking about.
No,
Did he hide in a bunker?
I'll let you tell that one. I just remember at one point we were laying down in the little bank on the backside of the green as if we were like sunbathing with my little phone between our ears, listening to whatever song I just paid $1.29 for.
Gotta get your money's worth.
Waiting for everyone to get to the green so we had people to hang out with. But the story that you're talking about is fun.
So we had a fairly competitive game going on. There were some decent golfers there. We got to the 11th hole at the Standard Club there, and it's a little short par 4 over water, and all of us hit our ball on the green. We're heading back to the golf cart, and all of a sudden, Chris comes out of the bunker where he'd been hiding, runs onto the green, and throws all of our balls into the water, and then dive back into the bunker.
And then I drove the escape car there.
You know, these things happen.
Does happen.
Anyway, so nice chatting to you
It's
this afternoon, as always, Michael.
always a pleasure, and
An honor.
And yeah, indeed. And I hope that I think we're up to 4 listeners now, because Robbie just said he listens too. So
Well, hey, Robbie.
I hope all four of our listeners.
Baker, can you get some of your furry friends to tune in?
Yeah, like promote this stuff. Like, how do we build a following here? What did Randy Paddock do?
This evening's episode sponsored by Furry by Us.
Yeah. Well, we can tag Natural.
By the way, I
Light,
noticed that Baker perked up when we said Furbus.
Yeah, different kind of scenario. So, but
All right, Michael.
fun nonetheless.
Good times. Good chatting to you. So, hey, it's only funny because it's true.
Cheers.
Cheers.